Yes, we're ready, Chairman. Is your mic on? Button on? Your mic, is the light on?
Not on.
There we go.
Everything else was on. This meeting of the Madera County Board of Supervisors is now called to order, and we're going to begin with roll call.
Supervisor Frazier?
Here. Here.
Supervisor Poitras?
Yes.
Supervisor Rodriguez? Supervisor Wheeler?
Here.
Supervisor Rogers?
Here.
Thank you.
Okay, are there any additions to the agenda?
No, Mr. Chairman, no additions.
County Council, will you read closed session into the agenda, please?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. 2 items on this morning's closed session. Item number 1 is pursuant to Government Code Section 54957.6, conference with labor negotiators. The agency designated representative is Elba Gomez. The employer organizations up for discussion are all units. Item number 2 is pursuant to Government Code Section 54956.9, conference with legal counsel, anticipated litigation, significant exposure to litigation, pursuant to paragraphs 2 or 3 of subdivision D, section 54956, and there's 1 case up for discussion this morning.
Okay. Any comments from the public on this closed session items? By email or?
Not for closed session, Chairman.
Okay. No public here to address the council. At this time, we will retire to closed session.
Make sure that's. Supervisor Wheeler, I'm going to end this meeting so we can start the closed session meeting.
Okay. I don't know how to, this one here don't give me a place to turn it off. Oh, there it is.
If you hover down at the bottom, is there a red X?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, I see it now. Thank you.
You bet. Back over. It should be. I mean, I can leave it there.
Yeah, good morning. Brett picked the best.
Is that the correct time? Okay. All right, we are continuing our meeting. County Council, anything to report from closed session?
No action taken in closed session that needs a report.
Okay. This time, we will open and close in memory of, and we have a couple of people here. Travis Beltsatar and Jim Mattis.
Mattis.
Mattis?
Yes.
You want to speak to those, Tom?
Yeah, thank you. Jim Mattis is Frank Bigelow's cousin's husband. If you ever went to any of their Blue Barn party or anything else, it's Frank's cousin Christy, who's ag teacher at Minarets High School, and it was her husband that they were out rounding up cows on their four-wheeler, and he turned it over and passed away. So it is a bummer. He is a super guy. I just can't tell you how great a guy. They got two, well, they're young kids. They're in high school. One might have graduated high school now, but Christy, I've known her all her life, and her mom is, I went blank, Silkwood, Mrs. Silkwood. So I don't know if you ever met her, but she used to spend a lot of money down to FFA and 4-H auctions down at Madera Fairgrounds every year or so. And the other one is Travis Bazatar, young man that was murdered up here about a week ago. His dad, I've known him since they moved up here. He's a horseshoer. He shoot our horses for years and years at the ranch. And Ron raised Travis and his brother from they were very young in grammar school. Their mom got cancer and died at a very young age and really fast. And now he's lost his son. So him and I have been going back almost daily talking about what we do next, So really young, in his 20s. He's got two young boys. It's just a shame for both of them. They're two good people, especially Jim Mattis. I just can't. And I heard who it was that about died. I just could not believe it. So
Wow.
thank you, guys.
Yeah, you bet. I also was informed today that Dale Evans, Evans Feed, passed away.
What?
Yes.
You gotta be kidding me.
Yeah. I was just
Oh my gosh.
that about 2 hours ago. Dale Evans of Evans Feed, and Dale is a great guy. Known him for years. A real community supporter. They always involved in Rotary programs and all the livestock auctions for FFA and 4-H, and just a great person, and will be missed. So our hearts go out to the Evans family. Brett?
And then I don't have anybody in memory of, but just some people to keep in mind and in our prayers. Mike Howard, the guy I know from the Ranchos, young guy, young kids, is in the fight for his life against COVID right now. Keep him in your prayers. And Debbie Neely was in a bad car accident last Friday. Going up the hill, drunk driver ran into her. She's doing better now, but broken bones, lacerations, severe lacerations, and so hopefully she recovers well. Should be about 5 months before she can even walk again. So,
Yeah, she's a class.
Wow. Where'd that happen at? Where'd that happen at, Brett?
I got 168 going up the hill.
Oh, wow. Man.
Sorry to hear that. For mentioning him. At this time, we're going to have the invocation. The invocation will be led by Father John Warburton of St. Joachim's. After that, I'll have Joel. Would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Equip the Board of Supervisors, each member and their staffs, with your graces to be good stewards for the programs, services, and resources of the County of Madera. Infuse them with your graces of wisdom, truth, justice, love, and mercy, to be attentive to the needs of the people of the County of Madera, especially those who are suffering the negative effects of this worldwide pandemic, and help them make decisions that will ensure the common good. Through Christ our Lord. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. This time we have public comment.
Public comment. The first 15 minutes of each regular session are set aside for members of the public to address the board on any matter under the jurisdiction of the board, but not appearing on the agenda. The board will not take action on any items presented under public comment. Speakers are limited to 3 minutes. Anyone addressing the board is asked to print their name clearly on the speaker sheet at the podium and state their name and county of residence for the record.
I always wanted to compliment you, Rhonda, on how you read to the public. It's so clear, so concise. You do a great job. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Time we do have one person via WebEx.
Madeline, can you hear us?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. We'll start the timer for 3 minutes after you give your name and county.
Okay, great. Good morning, supervisors. This is Madeline Harris from Leadership Council for Justice and Accountability. I wanted to call in this morning to comment on a few different things that residents that we work with in Fairmead and Lavinia have been bringing up recently. So the first is with regards to CARES dollars and COVID-19 response. We've been getting a lot of calls from people who are experiencing extreme financial hardships right now with the pandemic. So there's a really big need for allocating some of those dollars to cash assistance programs for families for things like rent and utilities. I get calls every month from tenants who don't know how they're gonna, stay up on their rent. And they ask, have you heard of many new cash assistance programs? And they've been pretty sparse. So this is an opportunity for the county to help provide a safety net for families who are really struggling right now with the pandemic. So I wanted to raise that once again with the board. Another thing is, once again, highlighting the need for some funding at the county level. I understand this is probably more of a long-term project, but for parks and recreation and green spaces, both communities that we work with really see parks and community centers as a big priority for something that they'd like to see in the community. And we know that this is a shared priority across the county and, many of the unincorporated communities that you all serve and represent. So wanted to highlight again the need to establish some sort of parks and recreation department or funding source. And would be happy to work with you all on that in the long term. And then thirdly, recently there's been some folks in Fairmead who have been bringing up issues with speeding on streets where there's children present. And so there's really a need for some speed reduction infrastructure in front of Fairmead Elementary School and in the residential area on Arnott Drive. And so these have been, especially in front of Fairmead Elementary, I know that's a place where folks have raised the need for some speed reduction infrastructure for a long time because of concerns around children's safety there. And then folks have brought up the Arnott Drive location recently as well. So I wanted to raise that to your attention and hope to be able to work with you on all of these things moving forward. And thanks so much for your time.
Okay, I know my chief of staff is probably listening, so we want to contact California Highway Patrol who handle enforcement on those streets over there. Let them know exactly what's, ask them extra for a time period. Thank you. Thank you, Madeline.
Yes,
Stevie,
Chairman and Supervisors, Stevie McNeil, Madera County Ag Commissioner. And just wanted to relate something. There's been a lot of media buzz in the last few days about people receiving unsolicited seeds from China. A lot of concern about that. This is actually nothing new. Customs and Border Patrol says, this has been going on for a long time, but there's definitely been an uptick in it lately. In fact, our office about 6 or 7 years ago got a call from a lady that got a packet of unsolicited seeds and again marked 5 golden rings. They're not sure why this is being done, but the thing is that these seeds are unknown. So they could be a threat to our 2 billion plus agricultural commodities here in the county. If any of the residents get these seed packets, please call our office 675-7876, and we will you can bring them by to our office, or we will come and pick them up. And then we are sending these on to California Department of Food and Agriculture and USDA, and they're doing some ID on them. So far, they have found things like flowers, veggies, but some weeds that could cause a lot of problems. So please bring those into our office or we will come and pick them up. Thank you.
Thank you.
They're not golden or magic beans that get you to a golden goose. Golden.
They're probably magic beans, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately. Thank you for that public announcement. Any other public comments?
I've got
Go ahead,
one.
Brett.
I've got one. Since he's got such a beautiful flower in his hair, I think we should all sing Tom "Happy Birthday"
Hey,
for
there you
his
go.
birthday today.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Tom. Happy birthday to you. Hey.
Whoopie, whoopie, whoopie. Thank you guys very much. I appreciate it. I got the video of that one, so
29.
I'll put that on
and
Facebook.
How do you get that flower to stay so nicely behind your ear?
So I took the picture of it at Hibiscus this weekend. I gave it to Leslie for Christmas for her birthday last year. We planted it out in the yard, and it's about 3 foot tall, and that flower is about 6 inches in diameter.
That's amazing. That is
I know they're blooming like mad. I tell you.
awesome.
Happy birthday, Tom.
Happy birthday, buddy. 78
Thank
years
you
old
guys
today.
so much. I sure miss all of you. I'll tell you. Woo.
Yeah. Well, we'll be glad when things get back to normal so we can do face to face.
Yeah,
All right.
for sure.
Yes.
As my daughter Emma says, when the world gets better.
Yes. The world's yeah.
That's good.
I did have
Give her a
one,
big
I did
squeeze
have
for
one
that when you
comment.
see
I
her.
wanted to thank Officer Delgado of the Corrections Department for his work with the community cleanup program through the jail. They came out and picked up some abandoned tires today, and we always appreciate what they do, but for what most people don't realize, they go through and clean up these homeless camps, the trash that's left by people that should be using the dump but aren't. And so we really appreciate the hard work that goes into keeping the community clean and beautiful. And I just wanted to mention him today. For anybody out there listening that knows him, be sure to mention to him that he was mentioned today. I don't think he's watching. I think he's out working right now. So if you know him, be sure to tell him Officer Delgado was mentioned. All right.
He's the man.
Yes, he is. And boy, they do a lot of work. It's amazing.
Yep.
Tons and tons cleaned up. That's just really appreciated. Consent calendar. Any questions from the board on that? By the way, there is a note here. 6N has a correction. Program begins August 12th, but deliveries begin August 18th. And, if there are any questions on that, Jessica or Maddie are available for any questions on that.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, I got C, like in cat, M, and N. So, perfect.
Okay, go ahead.
On item C, Stevie, is she still there? I'm just wondering, is the petroleum inspections, do they do that every year to every gas pump up here? I mean, everywhere's in the county? The reason I ask is when I get in gas, I always look at those stickers, and some of them seem pretty old, and I was just wondering if we always check those, because I always wonder if I'm getting, I know I'm not getting more than for my buck, but I just wonder if I'm getting enough for my buck.
Yes, and that's a little different. This is Stevie McNeil, I Commissioner Sealer. There's a couple things going on there. One is called device registration, and we have about 5,600 commercial devices in Madera County. And then we are required to go out and test those, but some are on a variable rate. So gas pumps, it may be every year, it may be every other year. You may see 2 years on there, and so we do that. Other things like for meters for mobile home parks can be like every 10 years. There's 5,600 and we average through those. Now on the petroleum inspection, that's a little different from the gas pump inspections. That is, we go in and we check them, the quality of their petroleum. We take samples of that and that way. But on the other one, for the device registration, we do test all of those machines, but sometimes it's not every year. We have permission from the state to do variable years, and gas pumps, we try and do every year, but at least every other year. And we always, if anyone
ever have
has,
any?
go ahead.
Do you ever have any hiccups with them? I mean, does any of them show they're doing more or less or anything?
Yes, we get complaints, not like every day or anything, but we do get complaints. Whenever we get a complaint, we react immediately and we go out and check that. Most of the time it's okay, but every now and then we have to put that one pump out of service until they get a service agent in to repair that.
Okay, so does that happen very often, or?
No, not that often.
Okay, it's just all I was wondering, if anybody's tinkering with them. You see this stuff all the time that they can do this or they can do that to them, and I always wondered. And I've been going to ask, but since it was on the agenda, I thought it was a good time to do it. So thank you very much.
Yeah, that's interesting, Tom. Thank you.
And then on item M, that's and N actually. Well, M is the first one, I guess. For that money for the small businesses, that's going to be announced tomorrow. And if it is, how are they going to announce it? I mean, are they going to put a public thing out there, or how are the businesses? I talked to one here in Awani day before yesterday, and they said they hadn't even heard about anything like that. So how do we get a hold of everybody, some of them that are really in dire need?
Yes, Mr. Supervisor, Joel Begay, County Administrative Office. So there's a couple of things that the EDC has planned to market the program. That is one of the services that they will provide. One thing that they will come out after your board approves the board item today is a press release announcing the program. It will also be advertised into their mail lists. And also there is a website created for the program that it could be referred to. We are also planning to work with the public information team to link to that program webpage. There's going to be multiple avenues, both online and in a physical press release, that the EDC is planning to advertise the program. There will be a 2-week open application period, so there will be a window for folks to submit applications before it closes.
Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure we reach out to some of these small businesses that may not, have, Facebook or newspaper, because nobody gets a newspaper hardly anymore, except probably Tom Wheeler. But I just think it's important that we reach out to these small businesses, because I think that's the most important ones that's really doing the hurting right now.
That's a point well taken, Mr. Supervisor. So we will make sure that we work with the EDC once the contract is approved to look at some targeted advertisements to smaller businesses that may not necessarily be attuned to newspapers or online media.
I think it's also
Right.
on the EDC board. Also, every single chamber of commerce in Madera County has a seat at that table. the chambers of commerce.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, they should know the ones to go out. So I think it's also imperative of us on this board as well as the EDC board to reach out to the ones that that we know. In a small community like ours, we should be able to figure out who needs it.
Right.
Yeah, the Chambers of
Thank you.
Commerce, Chambers of Commerce have,
They're members only, see.
they have a members list and they have a monthly thing that they send out. So they should be able to contact everybody and let them know.
Yeah, and we talked about it at the last EDC meeting as well, the full EDC board meeting that had members from each of the chambers of commerce there. So they already know that it's going to be run that shop.
And I do believe that they do plan to incorporate the chambers of commerce in the marketing.
As well as each jurisdiction. You've got Chowchilla and the city of Madera as
Correct.
well. So it,
Right, and I think that's actually one of the things that EDC is going to be highlighting, and it's highlighted in several areas, both in the website, in the application, and we'll make sure we highlight it in the pit push, is that it does not exclude businesses within the cities of Chowchilla and Madera. So
They have their own CARES Act, right?
they do have their own CARES Act, and the reason for recommending to contract with EDC is that they can make sure that businesses don't receive it from the same pot, given that there is a you can't receive it twice requirement from the feds.
Right.
well, if you've received PPP, then you can't receive these funds.
Correct, because there's PPP is part of the
Right.
CARES Act as well. So
Mm-hmm.
And the outreach for PPP was very limited. There were people that didn't get any help at all.
That's what we got to really look out for, Dave, I tell you.
Yeah, you're right.
And
And
on item N,
go ahead.
I know it ends in December the 30th. Joel, if we still haven't got a contract with the people that done it before, is there going to be any more money after December 30th from anything that we could keep those meals going? I can't believe how many people up here keep asking about, their meals and stuff. So,
right, and I think Tom might answer the money part of that, and I'll turn it over to Maddie and Jessica to add anything. The reason we
okay.
put the December 30th in there is to coincide with the CARES Act funding. There is discussion at the
okay.
federal level to extend that, and I think it is the intent of staff to recommend an extension of that program should the CARES Act be extended. So I think at this point, we're kind of waiting and see what Congress will do in the next couple of weeks or maybe a month. But but before December ends, I think we'd be back with the board with some recommendations as far as that program, because they've canceled it for the entire 2020-21. So staff is well aware of the need.
Well, that's what I was wondering about 21. See, I know they canceled it. So what do we do after that? But that money does have to be used by then, doesn't it? So if we don't use that money all up by the 3rd of December at 16 million, do they go back or what happens?
Right. So the state, it's important to point out that the federal CARES money that we're receiving is a pass-through of the state's CARES Act money. So the state has a mandatory September 1st review. It's not a punitive review. It's a technical assistance that basically their logic is if a county is not expected to spend it fully, they're going to provide assistance to see if we've considered everything that we can fund. The state's goal is for the county to push that money into the community,
Right.
into the services. So, and the short answer, we fully expect to justify the $16 million to be used by December 30th.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chairman and Joel.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Any questions from the public on the consent calendar? Hearing none, we'll bring it back to the board. What's your pleasure?
Move to approve.
Motion made?
With the corrections on in?
Corrections on in.
Yes. Okay, and
Second.
motion made and second. Let's vote.
Call for the vote. Supervisor Frazier?
Yes.
Supervisor Poitras?
Yes.
Supervisor Rodriguez?
Yes.
Supervisor Wheeler?
Yes.
Supervisor Rogers?
Yes.
Vote passes 5-0.
Okay, public session. Okay.
6A, Treasurer Tax Collector Department.
Where's everybody going?
Have a great day, people.
We're going to sing happy birthday to Tom again.
Yeah. Hey, that's okay. I like it.
That's the second time today, third time.
Yep. No, actually, it's about the fourth or fifth. My grandkids did, my kids, friends. I mean, it's been a crazy morning, I tell you.
Yeah.
Can't thank all of you enough.
That's great, Tom.
Hey, 1 second. Hey, Dave,
Yeah.
my son just sent me the information on Jim Mattis. His wife, Christy, is also the president of the Ponderosa Telephone Company now. And her mom was Luann Silkwood. I messed that up, so it's Luann. I don't know how everybody calls her Auntie Silkwood. And and so, and that was her, her son-in-law that passed away on that four-wheeler. So.
Oh, wow. Wow.
I know.
I've met him before.
Yeah, I know you. You've had to meet him at the Chowchilla Fair and everything.
Yeah.
They have, they're just great people. I can't even tell you, and I just can't even see him not here. So
Yeah.
I think you have to talk right into your mic.
Your mic's not on.
hey, Dave,
Yeah, that's all right.
you think you could have Rhonda maybe send some flowers to Christy at the Ponderosa from the board, or at least a note, or something?
Yeah, we'll work on that. Rhonda will work on that. Thank you. Okay, what do we
6A,
got? 6A.
hearing to adopt an ordinance amending section 3.46.050 of chapter 3.46 of the Madera County Code pertaining to certain fees and charges of the treasurer tax collector pertaining to the administration of the annual tax default sale.
Okay, this is a public hearing, so I'm going to open the public hearing. Any comments from the public on this item? Hearing none, no public comment. We'll bring it back to the board. Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion made and second. Let's vote.
Call for the vote. Supervisor Frazier?
Yes.
Supervisor Wheeler?
Yes.
Supervisor Poitras?
Yes.
Supervisor Rodriguez?
Yes.
Supervisor Rogers?
Yes.
Vote passes 5-0.
Item 6B.
6B, Board of Directors, Groundwater Sustainability Agency, Water and Natural Resources Department. Groundwater Sustainability Fee Study Update. Discussion and consideration to adopt a resolution approving an amended list of parcels subject to the fee for groundwater sustainability programs pursuant to Water Code Section 10730. And 2, discussion and consideration to adopt the 2020 Groundwater Sustainability Fee Study Update.
Good morning,
Morning.
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, Stephanie Agneson, Director of Water and Natural Resources. You will recall your board in November adopted a fee for the county GSAs only. Those are the ones that the state has charged us with administering. Since then, we have done a considerable amount of cleaning up of the mapping layers. We have attempted to, and it's impossible to eliminate, but to decrease as many as possible mapping disputes. And during that time, we essentially went from 118,000 irrigated acres to 114,000 irrigated acres. You'll recall that the fee can pay for administration, planning, engineering, technical support, and the biggest category by far is the regulatory requirements, meaning our annual reports, our 5-year groundwater sustainability plan update. So the study before you has a more accurate mapping of the acres going from 118,000 to 114. That does mean that the fee itself will increase by 85 cents per irrigated acre. It's from $22.45 to $23.30. That is well within the outreach that we did and the fee that we were originally quoting. You'll recall we did a ton of outreach to all of the GSAs, MAWA, the Farm Bureau, talking through this fee. So this is not changing the amount substantially, but it is a different amount. So first item is that parcel list with the updated number. The second item is an appeals procedure. We've consulted with Mike Linden, Deputy County Counsel, on what the best way for us to do this is. We've also studied the Assessment Appeals Board. to look at their process. We think we can do something that is a little bit simpler than that. Essentially, if there is a dispute, staff will work and check mapping results. That's our first step. We think that's probably 85 to 90%. If that's not resolved, someone can write me a letter as the department head. If I cannot resolve it, it can then get bumped to Chief of Development Services, the Deputy CAO, one of them, and someone from the assessor's office. And then if that doesn't resolve it, it would come to you as the board of directors for the groundwater sustainability agencies for the county. So that's described in this report. In general terms and in legal language, Mike and I would come back to you and do a public hearing as an ordinance to make sure that's codified. So those are the two items that have to do with 6B.
Okay. Any questions? Brett?
A lot less moving variables than it was when we first heard this. Remember, there was quite a bit on there. So I think we got to a great, reasonable place. I appreciate all the outreach that was done on it. Get it through most people that have issues, get their input on the front end is much harder than how we may have done things a long time ago out there. So great job.
Very good job, Stephanie. We do have one public comment on this item from WebEx.
Yes, hi, good morning again, supervisors. This is Madeline Harris from Leadership Council again. I had some questions about the ways that these fees were being allocated out for budgeting that Stephanie answered through her presentation. So I'll yield the rest of my time and just say that I, as always, look forward to working with you all on Sigma implementation moving forward. Thanks.
Thank you, Madeline. All right. Any other public comment on this item? If not,
Move to approve.
Motion to approve. Is there a second?
I'll second it, and I'd like to just say I just can't thank Stephanie enough, and her staff in there, Jeannie and the other two. I mean, they are doing so much. It's just unbelievable what they're doing and getting this all put together. I think we're worlds ahead of the other local counties around us. So thank you, Stephanie. Thank you for working with everybody and moving all this stuff forward that is so important. I just can't, none of us on this board just can really realize what that water means to Madera County.
Yeah, I agree. And the reason we're ahead, I think, the lady is standing right over there. She's really done a big job for us. So thank you very much.
Yeah.
So you're welcome. And of course, it is a team effort. We worked in admin for 2 years before and got a considerable amount.
Right.
Clerk of the board's office has also shepherded like 65 items in the last year for us. So,
well, great leaders always give credit where credit is due, and great leaders. So.
That's why we're giving you the credit, because we're great leaders.
I'm going to try and give you the credit now, and I'd like to thank the board.
Mr. Chairman, since we're all such great leaders, I'd also like to thank Mike Linden for working pretty tirelessly with Stephanie on all these projects.
Mike has been right there by her side too, so that's really been great. Jeannie and everybody involved, so really appreciate that. It's a big deal, very big deal.
It really is.
Yeah. Okay, let's vote.
Call for the vote. Supervisor Frazier?
Yes.
Supervisor Wheeler?
Yes.
Supervisor Poitras?
Yes.
Supervisor Rodriguez?
Yes.
Supervisor Rogers?
Yes.
Vote passes 5-0.
Pending legislation. Do you have any pending legislation?
You know, it's not pending legislation, Mr. Chairman, but I think I've been trying to put everybody together on the Mono County problem we're having down there on Devil's Post Power Road. It's been I've spent hours on it the last week, I tell you. And I wanted to thank our Sheriff Tyson Pogue. He sent over one of our deputies, Mr. Tauman. They closed those gates up. They've been closing that gate up since the buses aren't running. The Forest Services, I think, are doing a piss poor job. They closed the gate. You know, they closed it like 8, 9, 10 o'clock because they said there's no more parking places. And Monday, and so Mr. Tauman went over there and talked to them. They got it open for the whole weekend. and that's his livelihood down there. And it's, it's not a lot of money we get from there, but it's taxes, sales tax and TOT taxes. And Monday they closed it up at 8:30, and there wasn't even, and none of the campgrounds, parking lots were even half full. And so I was on the phone yesterday so much I can't tell you. And I just want the board to know what's happening. And I can't thank Tyson, Jay, and everybody else, Matt and Gerald and Regina, on trying to get this work done. Stacy Corliss has really been helping us. I got a call as soon as we get done here to the new superintendent they have for the national park. He's equal to like Dean Gould, and he is. I'm gonna have a talk with him to see how we can get this under control.
Yeah, if we need a letter from the board, we could do that too, so.
I just wanted you guys to know what's happening, so thank you so much.
Good. Okay, no pending legislation, then we'll go to supervisors and staff reports. Max?
Nothing
Rob?
to report.
Okay. I had a WebEx meeting with the Regional Health Authority. Brett?
Nothing to report.
Mr. Chairman, Public Health is hosting a group from the state. They're loosely, we'll call them the strike team from the state that's determining how they're going to spend the $52 million that you probably read about last week. With that, there's going to be an opportunity for some comments Thursday morning. With your permission, I was going to extend that invitation because it's a face-to-face meeting to Supervisors Frazier and Supervisor Poitras. There is the opportunity for the chiefs of staff from the other three supervisors or from the three supervisors of your choosing to attend this meeting, and I will have the agenda forwarded to all of you through blind copy later today.
That works. That's very good. Good. Thank you, Jay.
That's the extent of my report, sir.
Thank you. County Council? Clerk?
I just wanted to let you know that I will be out of the office for the next two board meetings, and so our assistant, Sarah, will be down here with you for your board meetings.
Very good. Thank you for the notification. And
then Dave?
Go ahead, Tom.
I have just one report. I had a Zoom town hall Thursday. That was, the 29th, I guess, yeah. No, 30th, on the 30th from 6 to 8. You guys ought to try it. I had almost 60 people. And
wow,
what a turnout. And they asked some great questions. And Bobby, my chief of staff, who ran the Zoom meeting, did one hell of a job. And I didn't have no complaints that I know of anyway. And tons of thanks and congratulations. We talked about the Covas, we talked about Bass Lake, we talked about Mono County. And I probably missed some, but Dean Gould, the superintendent of the force, was there. Matt Watson, our fire chief, was there. Jamie Bax was on it. Let's see, Jared did a great job in explaining the crosstown connection and all that we're doing, and how our road program's going. Nicole Musquete from Camarina Health. I should have my list. I know I'm going to miss some. Craig Hinch from the CHP, and Tyson Pogue from the sheriff. By the way, he's doing a heck of a job, you guys. I don't know if you've had any things you had to work with him yet, but gosh darn, he's doing a good job. So, and thank you, Jay, for that recommendation. So anyway, it was a great town hall. It was unbelievable. So might keep doing them that way. And at a regular town hall, it seems like you never get everything in that you want to, but on this Zoom like this, I think everybody got their questions answered, and I think everybody got to say what they wanted to say. So, Sarah Boss from Public Health was there too. So anyway, thank you.
Neat to hear that, because it sounds convenient for people to tune in and make their comments.
Yeah, right. They don't have to drive, whatever, a half hour, hour, or whatever. They can just go on there and still eat dinner if you're at home, So
Sure.
Yeah, last Thursday I've been doing those pretty regularly with my coffee and conversation on Zoom, and they can type in their questions on the chat, and it's worked really well. I think only one time we had a hiccup with it, but it's been a great way to stay connected to people and then get the answers that they need. I had just one more on my supervisor
ahead.
report. I just wanted to publicly, preemptively thank the Department of Financial Assistance as well as Division of Drinking Water coming together on the MD10A project and really seeing some of the issues that we had with it and really working hard to make sure that we get a good project out of that. And so I just wanted to thank them personally from here. So.
Okay, thank you, Supervisor. There's nothing else to come before us. This meeting is adjourned.
Right.
Good job, boss.
Sir?
Good job.
Happy birthday, buddy. Enjoy your day.
Thank you, man.
Yeah. Or hit a plug, huh? No. Hey.